Easy work. You know what, though? Seven has been a fearless leader for all of us at some point throughout this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see what kind of Fortnite abilities he'll be able to sort of lead the charge with. But we're back, Jacob. Game number 6, and every single one of these players had a chance to review, calm the nerves, whatever there might have been left over from the starting point, and just get everything going if they haven't already. And Malabuka got one piece out of Khan. Not healthy enough to try and deal with Chino, though. Chino might have to go for the reload, but Malabuka's gonna side leap too far. Chino able to get away with that one, but man, not what you would expect to see.
Not something you see every day either. Knew he was getting rushed, tried to make something happen, but splat, straight down and right back to the reboot. As Z-Dog steals away Chino's elimination. He tries to push on over to Josh, lands the shot, but Iamzo's there to back him up. This is their actual drop spot. They're not doing any sort of antics here to try to get early game eliminations. They're just trying to defend what is theirs, but there is still not only one team, but a few players towards the outskirts that they have to watch out for. Z-Dog, Goofy, that's going to be the other ones. Faded going ahead and landing some shots onto Goofy, making sure that Josh and Iamzo might have a little bit of an easier shot. On the other side of the map, though, Shark and Teeny continuing the ball rolling, getting a nice knock onto Sphinx, and already having their line of sight onto Muzz.
Poor Muzz, he'll be forced to sit and wait. He knows the most important part right now is just ensuring that Sphinx can at least become a participant to this lobby again. Still, it's not like he really has much of a choice. Shark and Teeny, they've timed it perfectly. They know that Muzz is just going to be a sitting duck here. Shark already gonna get a decent exchange, and Teeny just to close the gap even further. Nosif and Izzy nearly caught Shark off guard there, but good responsive fire, head on a swivel type beat, and well, Shark's not gonna be one that Nosif and Izzy want to try and contend with just yet.
Yeah, even if they have no intention on moving on over towards Shark and Teeny anymore, you have to be very, very careful that Shark and Teeny don't take the fight to them. With Muzz rebooting back in, that gives him at least one target to go after, but Izzy, the audio visuals, reveals himself, so he's immediately becoming the focus, but he trades that first shot onto Teeny, forcing him to back down, but Shark is there as well, trying to make sure they have a good 1-2 punch combo in this fight, and there goes the persistence coming out of Nosif, seeing that his teammate did take a bit of damage. He's just continuously trying to close the gap, but it's Izzy who actually continues to take the fight to Teeny. They get the elimination and force Shark to run away.
Shark and Teeny ran into that building like they meant business, but it was Izzy and Nosif who immediately said, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me. Problems already starting to compile though, because Momsy and Skyjump, they're only about 100 points off, 99 to be exact, at the starting stage here before they hit that match point. All they would need after that is a victory royale, Jacob, but we've yet to see them even get one on the day, and so it's going to be very problematic because it is just not easy to deal with everyone who's had these opportunities to come up with a new strategy.
Yeah, I'm just hoping in their case they're not showing their hand too early, but in this early game going against Muzz and Sphinx, Sphinx especially fresh off the reboot, and he's not able to stay alive long enough to reunite with Muzz, so he's going to go down and kind of be stuck by himself as a solo, and he has to be careful. Full team on the outskirts still nearby, but again, constant action all around the map here. And Reload is faded, gets that elimination onto Goofy. And you can see Skyjump making sure to attack the freshly respawned players. Even with Muzz getting control of that slurp truck, he's still gonna go down. So Skyjump, Momsy get their first elimination of this game.
Shark and Teeny, they'll continue to just shut Muzz down. Every single attempt from Muzz and Sphinx just to try and stabilize for even a couple of moments. Just not even being the slightest bit factored in here. Everyone around the area just chasing them. And Pete Pollo right now, our analyst did a great job of breaking it down. That top 10 Jacob, this is a tough one for you. I mean, I feel pretty good from what I've been seeing here today, but Pete Boyo, looking like NA's last hope right now.
Yeah, for all of the region, really relying on them to perform. And honestly, so is the entire Falcons organization for that club championship, putting a lot of pressure on them to perform for a multitude of reasons. Skyjump Momsy closing the gap. Less than 100 points to go before they're officially on that match point. And then all they would need to do is get that victory royale. And they're staying around this spot. This is where they got that elimination onto Muzz, forced him out, and kind of left Sphinx here. And because Sphinx has been stuck here for so long, he only has 4 builds. Look at Muzz. He's been hunted around, only 11. These guys are going through it this game.
And the even bigger issue still is knowing that they're not even that close to each other. It's going to take them so much time before they're even going to have a real opportunity to try and reunite. They're both stuck, huddled away in corners. Shark, one more time, we get another review of just how he's able to chase Muzz out for yet another elimination. And it feels like if it's not Shark and Teeny, if it's not Izzy and Nosif, it's going to be just another team entirely. Mini Bio, though, also getting active across the map. The Mammoth Pistol still proving to be very problematic. You can get that first shot accuracy in, but for Sky and Scroll, you're talking about the club championship points. And AGAL definitely going to be rooting these guys on in the secondary half here because they've got a long ways to go before they hit that match point threshold.
Yep, and so far another team has fallen. Goofy and Z-Dog out, Yassine and Salvatore out. Sphinx just gets dropped yet again. You can kind of see in the mini-map, right? Shark and Teeny are one of the only teams over here other than Muzz and Sphinx. And because they're still in the zone, Muzz is going to continuously respawn right above Sphinx, or I should say Sphinx is going to respawn above Muzz over and over and over. And because they're inside of the zone, there's almost nowhere for Sphinx to land. So he's definitely going to have a tough one this game. Going to need to really figure out how they're going to get back. Muzz might have to start thinking about how he's going to play the rest of this one as a solo.
That last glide over shot, though, Teeny and Shark, they've diverted their attention towards Cammy and Hari, who are actually a leaderboard threat currently. Shark, Teeny, they'll have none of it. At least getting one half of the duo. Hari going to be forced to retreat, but it's not going to be easy. Teeny sizing him up, knows that he's got Hari a bit locked down here. Because even if Ari manages to scramble out of this one, he still has to remember there are so many other teams close by that could potentially look to pick him off on the escape route. So Shark and Teeny watching their angles also, not trying to get caught off guard. Teeny will take over that front while Shark contends with Ari, and that's just going to be 4 eliminations already.
I really don't even know how Shark and Teeny have 2 teams trapped in this position, but in comes a third. Skyjump and Momsy probably hearing all the noise. They want to have a little bit of fun. Big shots onto Shark. Unfortunately enough, teammates aren't there to finish it up, but they switch their focus on over to Teeny, dropping him down to 50 HP or less, and they're looking to continue that chase. And it looks like almost for a second, Teeny might have created enough distance, but Momsy just keeping that bird's eye view over above. Muzz is there as well, so it could be a chance for him to get that elim and get back in the game.
The crowd buff is so real, though. Momsy and Skyjump are just playing with a whole different sort of confidence here today. And the fact that they were able to send Teeny packing, that might be the one benefit that Muzz might manage to actually survive. Shark is going to be forced to just sit tight with this duo, doesn't want to allow for any kind of hiccups. They know that they've got a decent amount of elimination points already. They need to start prioritizing, making sure that they have enough materials and they have enough builds and loadout to actually play the rest of the game with.
Yeah, especially since now the zone is forcing them away from Dirty Docks. All these eliminations they got early on, finally they're able to reap the reward, kind of maxing out their materials, gaining some extra resources. Skyjump Momsy, I'm not sure if they know Sky and Scroll has lurked their way all over here, and not even just over in this direction, but with a little bit of elevation. But the fight continues. Shark, Teeny, Muzz, and Sphinx, and it was looking good for Muzz for a moment. Full shield, full HP, a chance at a loadout, but Shark and Teeny turned that one right back around.
Poor Sphinx, man. Just, what do you even do? You've got to spend so much time just delayed from any semblance of your original game plan strategy to open things up in Game 6. And also a friendly reminder, Jacob, we are switching things over. No more Elite Stronghold. We are on Slurp Rush. And that is clearly shifting a lot of these aggressive patterns. We know that once we cross that halfway point, teams are going to start trying to whip out all the stops to make sure that they can match up with that match point threshold, because there's just too many teams within that top 5 entirely that have a clear shot path right now. And if they're the first ones to the punch, what happens to the rest of the lobby? You're just sitting and watching and waiting and hoping that they don't actually hit that victory royale after the fact.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, and it's going to be daunting. We always talk about the physical. The mental is just as important. 6 zone, so that's why you see not pressed for time. Sky jump moms, even Sky and Scroll, slow to rotate on over. They know they have the extra med kits, though. The timing is, for the most part, on their side. They just got to figure out a way to kind of position themselves inside of the zone so that when it opens up, they're definitely A-okay, but they don't want to make too much noise. They want to go ahead and see if anybody else around them makes a mistake on their rotation.
A little bit of chaos between Pete, Poyo, Darm, Deemish. Darm, Deemish made sure, though, to distance themselves. Not really all too interested in a full commit here just yet, but Pete and Poyo, this is definitely their backyard over at Slurpy Swamp. Hari and Cammy kind of lingering the outskirts of it. Sharktini also going to start making their way towards that more central position. There are just so many slurp barrels, so many different ways, though, for teams to essentially heal up as they cross over. But Sharktini, gotta watch your back. Nothing's ever for free, nothing's ever safe. But Jacob, the question I want to pose to you is, what's been the biggest problem for so many of NA's heavy hitters here today?
I just think it's just so much chaos. It's not necessarily what they would use to in an NA lobby, and then obviously EU, the players on average are just much better at fighting and being able to hold their own other than the competition. But you see the club championship leaderboard. Team Falcons on top, 4,600 points. AGAL in second, 4,300 points. It's only a 300-point difference, Taco, and that puts the importance on the performance of Peter Button, Poyo, and Sky and Scroll in this competition.
And we know that there is millions of dollars on the line between that club championship series. We know that there's $1 million on the line just for this finals performance, but also have to remember there are other orgs participating in this club championship too at EWC weekend, and being down to the wire here, week number 7, there is opportunity for teams inside of that top 10 to overtake each other, depending on how everything actually shakes up here. Rocky Sports even looking at Cammy and Hari and how they've actually been able to perform on the day, and these guys are sneaky. They are sly about it because they're not necessarily going to hog the spotlight by any means with their gameplay, but they are consistent, if anything.
Yeah, they're a team that you don't necessarily expect to see at the top of the leaderboard, but come game time, they usually always are. Sharkatini, though, using the water to try to gain as many shields as possible. They just got to make sure to stick deep in those waters. Teeny already full health, so it's really going to be up to Shark. The audio visuals is definitely going to let them know, but you can see he's just trying to spread out the loot, making sure Teeny has enough. He is going to be the guy leading the charge, tarping and building the path for them a good portion of the time.
Splitting builds between each other, and Sky, Scroll, they're going to need a refresh, and they're going to need it ASAP. They do not have a whole lot left to work with, and with the whole lobby kind of looking their way, it's only a matter of time before they get fully pinpointed and collapsed on. And when the entire lobby is looking at you with these combat rifles and whatnot, and the SMGs, Jacob, it is just so difficult to actually hold your walls. You just lose all of your material counts, especially the hard mats, in seconds.
Right, typically you kind of seen Shark and Teeny play for the high ground, dodging this portion of the game. You see the launch pad coming out as well, and they want to continue that to be the case. Sky and Scroll, a little bit of a mess up on their Shockwave, but they go ahead and solo Shockwave their way on out, and that's what's going to cost them. They separated for a second, and that mere second cost them everything, and they both actually fall. Rapid gets one, Josh gets the other, and they end the run of AGAL in this game.
It's like vultures in this lobby. The moment that you're just a little bit too late to the party, there's no such thing as fashionably late when it comes to these end-game moments. Hari and Cammy, though, not really getting much, if any, time to try and pause it and wait, and just like that, I mean, Iamso able to pick off Cammy clean outright. Josh and Iyamzo really sending it on this last-ditch effort here in Game 6. They're really trying to make up for some lost time.
We know they can frag out with the best of them. They can dominate the low ground. They just got to show it. As Peterbot and Pollo are now starting to elevate themselves on the high ground. We have seen this song. We have danced this dance. And now Teeny is becoming the pure focus of Peterbot and Pollo, trying to take him down. And the knock is going to come through. The elimination is what they're looking for.
And Peterbot knows now he's safe to actually take over that next front side. Romero and Leiwa are going to get pieced up the moment that they try to head forward, and just only moments left between Mumsy and Skyjump, our leaderboard champions currently. And yet Mumsy praying that this mech kit is going to buy him enough time. He has managed to just claw his way into the placement period, but Jacob still, it's nowhere near enough. They're going to need so much more to keep a good hold on this lead.
Definitely is not going to be enough, especially for Peterbot and Pollo. You got to get elims like that, and now they turn their attention. Teeny did get revived back on up. Well played by Shark to make sure his duo is by his side every step of the way, and even when they separated there again, he finds his way back, knowing that there's so much pressure. One person can't handle it alone, but Teeny's gonna fall. Shark's gonna be by himself, no materials, and a dream right now that he hopes to become a reality. But Izzy and Nosif, they displace him, force him down low into the Lion's Den.
Shark took that opportunity though, knew that there wasn't a weapon drawn, so at least be able to escape, but everyone is just dropping. They can't afford to try and challenge Pete and Pollo on the high ground. Pete and Pollo are just causing so much pressure, so much suppressive fire. Shark and Teeny are going to be fully eliminated. It looks like Vico and Malabuka are now going to try to play catch up to where the zone is pulling. They are relatively healthy, but Vico is lost in the mess of it all, and Malabuka will be forced to try and look like a fragger.
And they're just way too high up in the name of Peterbot and Pollo. I'm not sure too many teams could actually go up there and try to contest them for the high. And it's even that much harder as Izzy is just dominating the low ground yet again. Down goes Cold, down goes Rapid, making it that much easier for them to go into flow state down below. But Peterbot and Pollo, they're dropping down. You can see they don't have a lot of materials. They have to go ahead and reach some of this reward, but Izzy's gonna fall. No more miracles for him. It's all up to Nosif.
That might be the best case scenario too for Peterbot and Pollo, because Izzy and Nosif getting shut down this early. Malabuka cleaned up also. Peterbot and Pollo find exactly what they were looking for. Demish and Darm now trying to stand tall, but they're still stuck underneath. Kanata and Victor V trying to see if they could be the cutoff point. Pollo even doing himself a favor here with that first knock onto Demish. Nosif still a solo left kicking underneath, but Kanata and Victor V, they've got the distraction factor right now for Pete and Pollo.
Yeah, persistence is key for Pete and Pollo, and they're unlocking opportunity after opportunity here, but Darm's by himself. He's the only solo left between two duos, and big shot from each of them's gonna take him down. Peterbot and Pollo get both of those eliminations, but find themselves in a 2v2 situation. Central versus West, North America versus North America, and it's Victor V and Kanata that find that first elimination onto Pollo, bringing it down to a 2v1 situation. Victor V with his handful against Peterbot. He finds the elimination, and he does it big for Dignitas.
Not the first time that we've seen Victor V is the counter for Peterbot, but still a great effort out of Pete and Pollo. The million-dollar question before Game 6 even started off is, where's NA been so far today? And I think we just got our answer, Jacob. They have started to finally come online here in Game 6.
I like the way you said that. Major tournament after major tournament. It's that kid right there, Victor V, that takes out some of the biggest stars of them all. And he's one of those players qualifying from the North American West region. He go ahead and teamed with Kanata coming from Central, and he took it upon himself to go ahead and switch regions. He said, hey, if I want to take myself to the next level, I have to play with and against some of the best players in the world.
Gotta be appreciative, though, of Victor V and Kanata just pulling themselves one step closer to trying to stay in challenging range of that match point threshold. With so many other duos already that much further ahead of them, they know just how crucial every single one of these secondary half matches have actually become.
Yeah, and you kind of look at some of the teams that fell throughout the course of that one. We had Skyjump Momsy go down. We had Hardy Cammy go down. Peterbot and Pollo didn't get their win. So you got to look at that leaderboard, and still no one is on match point. So it's still anyone's game. Hopefully everybody at home is ready for the long haul.
Can't help but think what things might have looked like, though, if Malibuca and Vika have been able to actually see things through as a duo. But that's part of the chaos that starts to break out, especially when you have a team that's able to so strongly hold onto hype for as long as Pete and Pollo did. It really left no other options but for the teams underneath them to keep trying to siphon off as many refreshes as they could string together, because you're not going to make your way back up top anytime soon. Not with Pete and Pollo looking you down.
Yeah, just kind of look at their faces. They win, they celebrate, and realize, hey, it's time to get right back to work. Job's not done just yet. And now kind of look locked, loaded, ready to go. Almost like that didn't happen, but obviously a huge confidence boost for them. Not only winning the game, but like I said, taking out the players that they did throughout the course of that one. Just going ahead and turning that momentum around. We just got to see them continue it here. We're not going to be switching maps, so we will stay on the slurp rush, but I do think with players realizing they're running out of time, things might continue to switch up.
Just don't hold your breath. But Victor B, you gotta also love the fact he's probably given Pop so many heart attacks this weekend. But hey, that's part of the fun of Fortnite competitive after all. But listen, guys, Game 6 just concluded. We'll have Game 7 coming up shortly. But for right now, we'll be right back.
Be at the top, and they're not there. It might start getting to them. Even if they continue with those great performances, they want to be at the top.
But that's the weird thing, though, Seven, is that they were at the top over the course of the first 3 games. I mean, me and you had a conversation. It was like, dude, are they just going to like run away with it? It's going to be immediate for Sharkatini, but last 3 games have been a little bit rough for them. Hopefully they can pick it back up.
I'm hoping that they'll be able to pick it back up. I mean, at one point we did look at each other. We're like, you know what? I think it's time. Just give them the trophy, but it's not looking like that as other teams are bouncing back. But it's time we go into Game 7.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, what I'm seeing is a law of averages. You know, you can't continue to win it all and dominate. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. Peterbot and Pollo, Victor V, Kanata, NA finally starting to show us a little life, and it's about time.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's nice to see. It's nice to see the competition going the distance here as well. A little bit longer than maybe some people were expecting. I think a lot of people were expecting a lot more dominance from Shark and Teeny. It's just not been the last few games that they would have liked to remember for them. 4th place right now, but they can pull it back. And I think that's the thing about this team and Shark and Teeny. Yes, the analysts broke down. They maybe a little bit of their chemistry is just shaken up a little bit, but they're so good individually and as a team. Remember, they won 3 of the qualifiers here to get to this event entirely. So they just need to reignite that, like what we've seen from Peterbot and Pollo.
Well, looking at Peterbot and Pollo do very well right now. If you're AGAL fan and you're looking at those club championship points right now, Sky and Scroll have slipped their way down to 16th place, entering into match number 7. So we'll be keeping close tabs on them. Bolts is going to be the first to get eliminated here. Again, just a massive upsetting performance so far from Acorn and Bolts, as they've been trying to find their bearings here in the tournament. Darm and Demis staying as consistent as ever. They're right in the middle of the tournament here.
I think this sort of goes to show as well how little the actual Battle Royale experience actually plays a part in Reload. You know, we're looking at back-to-back major champions of Major 1 and Major 2 in Sky and Scroll, down at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Right.
Bolts and Acorn, down at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's like, it is a completely different game, and it's a completely different way of playing. And I think if you'd asked anyone at the beginning of the day, would you expect Skyjump and Momsy to make a big splash today and end up in 1st place after 6 games? I think they would have just laugh in your face.
Yeah, it's definitely a level of a play style that seems to be rewarded pretty heavily, definitely here on the tournament. Well, so far, so good. A couple elims going back and forth. Malibu is going to fall. Nosip is going to fall as well. Darm firing up right now, earning points. Khan and Faded have had their moments here on the evening where they've shined last game. Kind of coming up now, off to another hot start here. Quick elims here. These points rack up. We have seen it time and time again for Goofy. They were doing so good, and again, also just finding their moments where they've kind of slipped behind, so they need to find their bearings. They're in 18th right now when they started in 5th representing for OCE.
This is not great. It's not great for them. And it's really tough because, like I mentioned earlier, you don't know when the tournament's going to end, so you can't think, oh, maybe we have another 8 games, you know, maybe we can go the distance. Because you never know, with Skyjump Momsy get a big game here, push them over that threshold, 350 points, then get the win in the next game after that. It's like everything's over, and where you're at on the leaderboard gets frozen.
Yeah, it definitely starts to put things into perspective. Or in general, once they're 350 plus, you know, their entire strategy can just shift. They can go straight to playing high ground every game. That's going to be a disruptor type duo in the lobby. Just never really know. Skies roll. Getting active here. Slua Romero. Shots from the third party though, but Sky's here to clean up the job. Nicely done for him. That's going to secure 2. 6 points already earned here. Not bad. To at least get their cars and wheels turning here. Let's see it.
Come on, Skyjump. Let's hit the beams here. So let's see what the replay's about. Yeah, look at that. It's really hard to hit shots like that with the burst because it does have quite a lot of recoil. And that scope is quite magnified as well, so quite difficult to actually hit those. Vico with the Mythic Fish in loadout.
Hit him with it.
Please. Malibuka as well. We're going to try and win this fight. Izzy and Nosif onto their neighbors in Skyjump and Momsy. Looking to try and close on in here. They want to start to continue to perform. We saw them get that incredible win earlier on in the day from High.
It's a nice little shield crack right there from Izzy. Momsy Skyjump kind of put in a bad situation here, forced to rotate out and try to put together their loadout. Again, it's always really dangerous when you have your duo fighting side by side against another duo. Boyo's gonna find Lua, so Lua not catching a break at all now. We'll see who's gonna end up being the first team fully finished here. Goofy kind of sitting near death's door, gotta be careful. Spixie and Swizzy find a set of eliminations. Fukun, Z-Dog currently down.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Goofy right there. I thought that might have been the end of this game for them, but Goofy does manage to escape, and that's their Fukun rebooting, respawning into the game. They are pushing. They want more. Remember, Pixie and Swizzy had such an explosive start to the day. They were looking really strong, and it's quite similar to how they sort of played in those group stage as well. They can perform incredibly well, but how much time are they going to have? Peterbot against Sky. In a bit of a battle right now. Nice angle there from Sky to chunk a little bit of Peterbot's HP, forcing him to pop that big pot and take a moment to breathe. As you can see Peterbot all the way back in the storm right here. Boyo's white HP is not going down, so indicating that he's not nearby. Sky looking to try and piece him up. EU versus NA, no whites on Sky though, so he has to try and make this fight quickly. Peterbot scurrying away for now, getting inside the box to Sky, not quite able to in the end. Peterbot looks for a shot, looks for a return, not going to get it. Sky is going to take him down. And that's AGAL on Falcons. Drama right there. Lots of violence between these two right now. Is that going to play into the hands of Sky and Scroll for the rest of the game?
Champion v champion. Big fights going down right now. You saw for a moment there on the picture-in-picture, you had Peterbot just baffled as to how he missed that shot. He picks his hands in the air, takes him off the keyboard, like, come on. Really feeling the effort there. Well, this is actually really bad. So Scroll, wherever he was hiding, he's found it out because he's down right now. So Sky, it's actually crazy that he won that fight because it could have gone really bad for them at that point.
If Sky lost that one, they could have been out of this game already. So that was well played from Sky. Needed to as well, of course, lack of whites. But we get to see where the Storm and the zone ends up closing in. Z-Dog and Goofy against VK right now. Getting in close by, but not actually getting too involved as Momsy and Skyjump are in the vicinity as well, looking to try and take control of this supply drop. Hopefully give their loot a little bit of a boost as well. And I've been really impressed with these guys so far today. Of course, they haven't actually managed to pick up a win, which of course you need to do to end the competition. But yeah, I mean,
Wins don't matter yet. Wins don't matter yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Get your points, play consistent, get us the win, and you'll send us all home very, very early. So hopefully it's not going to be too early. And hopefully they're not the only one in the race when that happens, because right now they have a significant lead. But Peterbot Boyo closing that gap. Vico Malabuca starting to close that gap. Vico Malabuca is probably the team we've shown maybe the least as far as their journey, right, as we've kind of focused in on these other teams. But they have been very much right there.
Yeah, they have. They're always in and around that sort of top spot. And I think when they won Summit, that was kind of... Ooh, hang on. Before I mentioned that, Peterbot down again to Sky and Scroll. Not ideal for him. Sky and Scroll recoup a lot of that loot that Scroll would have lost from that down. But as I was saying, Vico Malabuca, they're the sort of team that can go, not missing, but they can just go under the radar a little bit throughout the tournament. At the Summit, they weren't necessarily coined as the team to watch out for even throughout the event. They were just consistent. They were making those end games consistently. Not too flashy about it, and again, they haven't got a win either, but more than capable of doing so. Sky and Scroll looking to make this dead side rotate as well.
Yeah, nicely done for them right there. A little get back as well.
Yep.
You see Boyo's HP really low right now, so he's been kind of hanging out here inside the zone for quite some time. A lot of duos still lingering about. This is a pretty dangerous spot to be in, but again, they're here just kind of gathering back. And this is the problem, right? You get this major setback when you get eliminated like this. Now he's got to take all this time to farm back up this loot. Shark Tina getting active here onto Khan and Faded, though. This is your 6th place team versus your 4th. Very, very interesting fight going down right now.
Big moments there as well for Khan and Faded. I feel like this is a team that performed incredibly well earlier on in the week and have high expectations of themselves, as we heard from them in the interview. They believe that they are the team to beat, and it's nice to see them doing that here on the finals as well. Haven't quite seen that level from them throughout the whole year so far. Khan, of course, playing with Reason, unable to qualify for the LAN in the main track, the main circuit, later on this year. But Izzy and Nosif, another team that are no stranger to a clutch right at the end. So they're going to need to have all of that, channel all of that energy as they make their way through this game. Fans still on their side as well. It's the ideal situation for the French fans. You got one of the teams leading the way and another one chasing down as well.
Yeah, 5th place for Izzy and Nosif. The crowd loves to chant for them when they're up on screen. Falcons definitely go crazy for Peterbot and Boyo on that side of the arena here. 2 elims so far, still, again, just getting comfortable here as the zones are starting to develop. We're getting into the late portion of this round now. Zone's going to pull west. This is where the majority of the player base is. No one's actually inside a Dirty Dock, so it's going to be a good, favorable zone for the most part. But saw how many players were actually playing that Slurpy Swamp. Let's see who ends up making it in and getting settled in first. Ari Kami here. Kind of right in between Vico Malabuca, who is actively tanking Storm right now for key positioning. Faded Khan, fresh off those reboots from Shark and Teeny's fight. How did they fare? Not too good, actually. So that's what I'm talking about. Getting eliminated so late in the game. You can see Khan barely has any mats now.
Yeah, and the difficulty is, of course, the area in which you can operate in gets smaller and smaller as the storm closes. So if you go down earlier on, you can re-loot, come to the POI, scrap loot some of the other fights. But you can see right there, they just have to sit in their box, sit in that bush, and just enjoy the loot that they currently have, which is not particularly enjoyable. But if they can find an elim, if they can find a knock, that can reignite their game as well. Take a look at another highlight here from Peterbot. You know it's going to be an absolute banger.
Oh, gosh.
He whips out that mammoth that you just know something crazy is about to happen.
He's so good with it. So accurate.
Unbelievable.
Sky ends up falling right behind that. So now it's all up to Scroll. Reboots ending in 30 seconds here. Acorn and Bolts going for high ground. Looking to kind of put up a flex of a position. This is just posturing at this point. It's too early to do anything big with it, but you got the extra mats, might as well put it to use. Sky's going to go ahead and touch down there. You saw that in the distance. what's this little corner looking like? Darm, Demis, Lua Romero, Victor V, Kanata, or inside 10th now. Sky and Scroll in their back next to Peterbot and Pollo. So kind of meeting back up with their duos. All 20 alive now as we're entering into Storm Zone 7, and reboots are now closed.
Southwest zone, favorable for Darm and Dimash. Liwa Romero, these guys in the driving seat right now. Lovely little bit of damage onto Sky right there. Peterbot and Pollo look to use that as an opportunity to go in and actually go in for the fight. Peterbot and Pollo do not want to let them go away, but look at that. Peterbot down in the feed, Pollo, and that's to Romero. This is a completely different team to the team they were originally pushing. Absolute disastrous moment for Peterbot and Pollo. They've been on a bit of a roll. Peterbot's still down though.
He rolled into the box.
He's actually rolled back inside. Is Peterbot now going to be able to get revived right now by Pollo? I think he is, but no. The pressure's coming in from other areas. Pollo
No way.
all of his metal. Trying to hold off all the builds. Yeah, there
what
we go.
The
My
fuck?
gosh. That could be huge in the overall standings here.
Oh my gosh, what a save from Pollo right there to pick up Peterbot, and what a play by Peterbot to roll out of the box and not get pieced up. Pollo's so smart. Elevation change right there. Just clever usage to get the pickup. Surely that's the reason they are going to be in match point contention when everyone else is, if not first.
I'd love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. I mean, that is a skill gap as well. Being able to actually not get too disappointed when you get knocked is still in the game. For Khan and Faded, they really need to try and find a refresh and fast. 12 builds you saw on Khan right there. This is getting almost desperate at this point for those guys. Just need to try and turn the game around, which we saw Peterbot and Pollo try and do. Got shut down. So they do need to take some risks. Roll there gets knocked as well by Dimash and fully eliminated there, as well as Sky. Dimash and Darm. EU on EU. Violence, Sky and Scroll from AGAL are the first team to fall.
Muzz and Sphinx have high ground right now. Momsy, Skyjump kind of eyeing things up. We keep talking about them not quite securing their victory just yet, but you see they're starting to change their focus. Like, hey, brother, I think it's time we start looking up. Let's start getting ready for what we're gonna have to be performing against later. Sharktini, though, staying slow and steady here, consistent, just looking to make this end game. Never count them out. They're a team that will for sure go fight for height. Uh-oh, a little bit of a tough rotate here as they lose one another. It's gonna cost them extra mats for sure. Peterbot, Pollo, thinking about it. Here we go.
Nice little fizz. Goes for the shot. There goes a huge one. Once again, that was onto Sphinx on the front side of zone. Muzz there goes down as well. Malabuka picks up an Elim in the process. Momsy and Skyjump all the way down here as well. Still in this game. Remember, this is our first place team at the very moment. They are looking to cross that threshold. 350 points is the amount that you need in order to then go on and get a win to take this tournament all for yourself. Izzy and Nosif yet again find themselves on high. They're looking to replicate what we saw from them earlier on and getting a big victory royale. The French fans erupt here in Paris.
With those Elims right there, Faded and Khan now fall in 6 once again. Izzy, though, gets contested by Peterbot. I was thinking there's no way they're not going to fight for it after taking down Muzz and Sphinx from the high ground. It was their doing, so surely they want to go for the win now.
They've only got 6 builds right there. You saw it on Peterbot. Not ideal whatsoever. Who's going to take height? No one's on it right now. Peterbot decides to go on up, trying to look for an opportunity to spray on down to the teams down below. He's looking for a frag. He's looking for a refresh because he's only got 1 build now, as Pollo has to try and get nearby as well. And of course, he's right next to him. This is the danger, though. Peterbot and Pollo. No! Peterbot, full damage. Disastrous.
Kind of sprints off the edge there and then bolts wastes no time in taking him down. Pollo here down to just 4 materials now on the heels of too many players. Ramps there. The Storm's too close either. It's just an unfortunate turn of events right there. Not even he understands how that happened, but it does occur. No one's perfect. Take a look here. Momsy, though, misses the shot here onto Malabuka. They still have no idea he was there. Just got to clutch this one up. Sharkantini, though, opportunity presents itself. They just waste no time. They walk straight up, and like taking candy from a baby, it's theirs. They have high ground.
Yeah, no team are playing it this game. It was absolutely free for them. One of the easiest height takes they will ever have. And the favorites coming into the day have finally turned up again after having a really nice start. They've fallen off slightly. They've had a little bit of a rough patch, but now they're looking to recover their form. Pixie Swizzy down there as well entirely. Shark looking just to try and compress the rest of the lobby down as the zone goes all the way over towards a bridge. It's going to be very awkward for all of our teams down on the low ground. That's why Shari and Cammy are just playing a couple more higher layers, actually finding a Ilium in the process there onto Mini Poyo. And Momsy understands the situation, needs to try and rack up as many points, even as a solo finds another medkit here as well, squeezing out all those placing points.
Victor V and Kanata are turning up right now as well. They're still inside the top 10. This is 2 games now where they're doing it, but Momsy's got the solo clutch for himself to kind of remain in the lead here. 300 points. The first team now to go ahead and break that threshold. This is a big moment here in the tournament. The crowd is cheering for Momsy. What can he do with the crowd on his back? Pablo Ngu forced out of the layer here. Now, shots coming in from all angles. It's Kanata forced into scramble. He's on the run. Vico finds Rapid down low, and everything is coming to a close here.
Look who's on height still. It's Shark and Teeny. Cammy looking to heal off back inside of the storm. Zone is actually pulling back over all of these old builds as well. So Shark and Teeny, although they don't have builds, they won't need them. Look at that, 5 builds onto Teeny. They're just trying to apply a lot of that pressure now down below. What that also means, all these teams down below are going to be running into each other, into old builds, into other people's edits. That's why Pablo and Chino just fall. And Shark and Teeny are looking to ride on out to a successful game right here and reignite their belief.
With how many teams are down as well, this is going to close the leaderboards even more. Hari still in the game. Malibuca Vico earning points now. The second team to break 300 points. That's going to be an elim out to Victor V there. Shark, Teeny completely out of material now here up top. Forced to go down. The flow barrier fizzes in. Vico's
We
trying
may
to
be
heal.
up
Malibuca's there.
someone
It's a
on my
2v2.
boat, not
Everyone's
this-
one shot here. It can go either
nothing,
way.
but
Malibuca crash
someone
across
may
the
be
side.
hit my
Vico's in a
boat,
fight with Shark.
nothing.
Shark's very healthy. Teeny's hurt. He's hurt as well. Everyone's training. But Shark hits the shots.
Huge game for Shark and Teeny.
still no
They
one
had a bit
on
of a
my
wobble
boat.
in the
but
last few games. Maybe that
there's
confidence was getting
nothing,
knocked.
maybe someone
But
made it.
Shark, there is no reason to look at your teammate with disappointment right now, because you've just managed to pick up a huge victory royale to put yourselves back in contention for the lead.
Vico's just letting the energy flow through him at this point. I hope he's got music playing, because if not,
I think that's just what he does.
he could just dance and nothing.
I think he makes his own music.
He's making his own music.
He's
Yeah,
coming up with it in himself. Yeah, he's drumming, he's doing the violin.
Malibuca's trying to figure this out right now. He's like, dude, do I join in? is this real life right now? Jokes aside, though, love when Vico, of course, is having fun, just really living in the moment right now. Complete opposite, very stoic from Shark and Teeny here. Take a look from their perspective. I mean, we're just going to have to hear from their perspective after this, but what a win here. Vico, Malibuca, didn't even keep count. I think it was like 10 or 11 elims.
All about Shark and Teeny, though.
They're gonna choke up. I'm choking.
I have one build. One is in storm.
Under.
Nice.
I have height.
30 right.
Dead. I'm on.
Nice, I'm dead.
Dead.
Nice.
Ooh, they're feeling it now. They're feeling it. This is good. This is great. They're confident. They've got the belief back in them. They got smiles.
So, you know, they won games and didn't say a word. Not a GG, not a thank you,
not a single thing.
Good job. We got a nice. You know, it means something to them now. They become the third team to break into that 300-point threshold. That means after this game here, what's this? So we're approaching match 8
yep.
shortly. After match 8, we might have a team or two up there in that 350 range. And then winning a game will mean the tournament could end. So, hey guys, we're going to have to do some math here. We'll be crunching numbers. When we'll get back, we'll have more action for you.